Open-mindedness is something that gets thrown around often enough. We use it to describe people who are empathetic, amicable, and flexible. But if we really look at open-mindedness, it's easy to see that it's a summation of many different virtues such as integrity, creativity, and even childlike playfulness. Open-mindedness is an amazing lens that makes the world appear more vibrant and filled with possibilities. Because they don't conform to strict rules and regulations and live their lives with rigid codes and expectations, open-minded people are able to sample from the buffet of life and become the best versions of themselves every step of the way. Here are some things that open-minded people do that makes them different from the average person. Number 1, they love all kinds of arts. Open-minded people value diversity and enjoy seeing the world through multiple lenses. It makes much sense that these kinds of people are particularly picky with their media. They'll pretty much devour anything from indie movies to top podcasts to obscure web journals. To them, there is beauty in everything. And that, more importantly, beauty comes in many forms, so why stick to one format? Too many people say they like reading books only or enjoy only specific kinds of movies. You'll rarely hear open-minded people pick a favourite because they want to do justice to the many different arts available. Number 2, they don't stick to one genre. Having an open-minded friend is a perk in and of itself. Whenever you need a new recommendation, you bet they'll have something fun and interesting to introduce you to. Again, it is less about the format and more about the content for them. They're fluid in that they find enjoyment in many different things, whether it's classical or popular music. The best thing about having open-minded friends is that you can always rely on them to excitedly discuss a spectrum of things with you. They're always happy to hear your thoughts on one genre and even be convinced why one is better than the other. Number 3, they are great problem solvers. Open-minded people make great problem solvers because they don't stick to rules and regulations. They don't approach problems with a fixed idea of what the solution should look like. When they address a problem, they approach it from multiple different perspectives. More importantly, they don't assume they're right and likely ask people to look at the problem with them. They don't assume that they are the best person in the room and serve mostly as mediators between problem and solution. They listen more than they talk, they evaluate more than they act, and they collaborate instead of dictate. Number 4, they embrace their inner child. Playfulness is one of the hallmarks of open-minded people. Almost blurring the lines between adult and child, they can easily switch between being a daydreamer to being a problem solver. Because they're not afraid to get in touch with their inner child, they get access to amazing tools that get dull as they get older. To open-minded people, empathy, play, and encouragement come much more easily. They also tend to be more open to taking risks and finding creative, unconventional ways to solve things. Number 5, they're sympathetic. The ego is a foreign concept to open-minded people. Rather than having a set of judgments and I ams, they move through the world with much fluidity. When they interact with people, it's less about what unique thing they can bring to the table and more about how they can help this person specifically. This makes it easier for them to sympathise with people and enact empathy in situations where needed. Even when faced with new challenges, they are able to tap into sympathy to relate with another person and understand their unique fears and vulnerabilities. Similarly, their sympathetic nature makes it easy for them to celebrate highs and make people feel good about themselves. Number 6, they have thick skin. Sometimes it seems like everyone on the internet is one bad comment away from throwing a complete fit. Open-minded people have more stable emotions, understanding that not everyone is out to get them. When met with backlash or criticism, their first response is to ask questions and tap into their childlike curiosity. Equipped with empathy, they are more responsive to criticism and open to change and improvement. This makes open-minded people excellent troubleshooters and communicators, especially in a world that seems hell-bent on offending and getting offended. Number 7, they're observant. You can't be open-minded without being observant. You have to have your eyes open, quite literally and figuratively. As such, open-minded people make great observers. Instead of taking the front stage, they'll be blending quietly in the background and soaking in as much as information as they can. They are not quick to judge and instead are keen on hearing about what other people have to say instead of indulging in knee-jerk reactions. Open-minded people might be quiet and silent, but they definitely see a lot more detail than those who never pause to think and listen.